Foul play will either knock out or draw the final shield. The opponent's shields up an aggressive switch into Banette. And oh my god, these Shadow Claws have torn us apart. They still have the low health Alteria. We farm down and it's Peliper in the back. Shadow Ball locked and loaded. And the flying toilet gets wrecked. So, welcome back to the channel. Hoenn Cup is here. A lot of the Great League meta is allowed. However, there are plenty of viable, spicy shadow Pokemon, and no Bonfire ahead has absolutely killed it with today's battle submission. He is going to showcase the most ruthless closer of them all, Shadow Banette. When shields are down, Shadow Banette absolutely goes to town. If you like the big booms, you are in for a treat. Without any further ado, let's get into the battles. And in game one, we see the battle of the flying toilets and Peliper on Peliper crime. A lot of opponents love to bait in this matchup. Hurricane will be one-shotting with the wing attacks. No Bonfire head goes straight for the Hurricane. He loses CMP last second shield and the opponent is a master baiter. We get baited with a weather ball. We're going straight for the Hurricane. The opponent shows no respect. They get one shot and aggressive pivot out into Sableye as the opponent enters the arena with their own Sableye. So far we have seen a mirror team, but I'm going to bet a pretty dollar on saying the opponent absolutely doesn't have Banette in the back, and it looks like a charge move priority event the opponent got. Far too greedy, they throw on charge move priority. They've now committed all shields, so despite no Bonfire head committing a first shield, we've managed to get all shields down. Foul play takes us out. Sableye has residual energy, good to go, so I imagine we are going to look to absorb the energy. On our own Peliper, the opponent is going to throw a foul play. Peliper should survive on minimal HP, and we do. We have the weather ball locked and loaded. This is going to be enough to take care of the Sableye Banette with a shield versus whatever they have in the back, and it is Swampert. Swampert, not the bulkiest. We commit a shield on the Hydro Cannon. The opponent really should be reaching for the top left. They don't, so Banette is about to boom it back to its Pokeball, and we're off to a 1-0 start. GG's, and thanks for playing. So the team does operate really well with two spammy Pokemon in Sableye and Peliper looking to get the shields down, allowing Banette to boom whatever is in the back. Getting into the next battle, we see a lead against Swampert. Peliper, a pretty good wall for Swampert. Unless they're on Sludge Wave, we will resist both Hydro Cannon and Earthquake. No Bonfire head chips this Sableye with the Weather Ball and then enters the mirror. I really like this place. We should be able to maintain the correct alignment. You really want to keep Peliper on Swampert, and you really don't want to see Banette take any charge moves. The opponent commits a shield. No Bonfire head is going to survive this move, but can we get the Shadow Claw farm down? It looks like we are slightly ahead on HP. We do farm down and we leave with the move. No Bonfire head sitting in a great spot. If Swampert does return, I highly doubt they are going to shield up the foul play, knowing that Peliper pretty much is going to wall them, so they're going to have to save a shield for whatever is in the back. We do land the foul play. One more Shadow Claw gets them into the yellow. No Bonfire head, not choosing to throw on CMP. Peliper Swampert is IV dependent, so he over farms, gets a little bit of extra energy, fires off the Weather Ball. Weather Ball does take care of Swampert. Aggressive switch into Shadow Banette, and it is met by a Dusclops. Hex, usually not known for its fast move pressure, but Banette isn't tanking these hexes particularly well. No Bonfire head throws the Shadow Ball on a charge move priority event. Absolutely immaculate play there. The opponent, I imagine, goes for an undercharge, as I highly doubt we survive an Ice Punch. However, no Bonfire head saves his shield. He overfarms, fires off the Weather Ball at the tanky Dusclops, and we manage to take another game. GG's, and thanks for playing. Moving on to the next battle. We lead everyone's favourite flying toilet Peliper into Swampert. Absolute great lead. The opponent now switches out into Sableye, so I imagine we are going to go for the same play that we did in game one, the chip and dip. Weather Ball goes unshielded. We now do pivot out into the mirror. It looks like the opponent's Sableye isn't that XL, they're already deep in the red. No Bonfire does tell me that his Sableye also isn't the most XL. He fires off on CMP back, and that he has the higher attack, and it comes in clutch. The opponent now forced to commit a shield. No Bonfire head can also commit a shield and commit to the farm down. We're only one Shadow Claw away from the foul play. Back out comes Swampert, and foul play is going to do around 50% of the HP. Swampert in the yellow. They do commit to the Mud Shot farm down, but as we know, unless the opponent is on Sludge Wave, Peliper is going to absorb all of this energy. As Swampert's energy is pretty useless against Peliper, the opponent chose to bank it, switching out into defense. Deoxys and Banette is about to eat this thing alive. We tank the rock slide, not particularly well. However, Banette, just with a Shadow Claw damage, has got DD already into the red. The opponent no shields the Shadow Ball. Back out comes Swampert. Swampert is going to be forced to commit the final shield on the Shadow Ball. However, judging by the huge amount of lag we are seeing, it looks like the opponent has closed the app, and to be honest, I don't blame him, as the opponent's probably thinking it's not nice getting fucked by Banette. Moving on to the next one. We see Peliper into DD, 2 better responses. In the back, so we pivot into Sableye, and to my surprise, the opponent is staying in. Very questionable. They fire off the rock slide. Sableye doesn't need to shield, and they now enter the Sableye mirror. However, they're so far behind on energy. We fire off the first foul play. That draws a shield from the opponent, but no bonfire ahead. Says there's plenty more of where that comes from. We fire off the second foul play. Sableye is now into the yellow, and they throw. Everything going right for no bonfire ahead in this battle. He can now bring back in Peliper. It's going to be CMP to the weather wall. I believe this again isn't IV dependent. CMP but no bonfire head wins the charge move. Priority event weather ball is going to take care of Sableye. Aggressive switch into Banette. Back out comes Deoxys. The opponent banks some energy and pivot out into Medicham, and that is going to be all she wrote, as the opponent very quickly reaches for the top left. You can see we're 4-0 in the set heading into the next battle. It is again a Peliper on Peliper mirror. A very big bait dependent matchup. No bonfire head chooses to go for the extra. He is going to shield up a potential hurricane, and again the opponent is a master baiter. No bonfire head thinking, if you're going to masturbate, I'll have a little masturbate of my own. We fire off the weather ball. The opponent also commits a shield. We now throw the hurricane on CMP. However, we do lose the charge move priority. The opponent full sends the hurricane, so we are now in the 1-to-1 shield. This Peliper is still pretty healthy, so no bonfire head, not in the best spot. However, the opponent gives up switch. It's Registeel versus Sableye. Pretty neutral matchup. Sableye is going to outpace the big tin can, and we do survive one charge move. The opponent has committed the final shield. No bonfire head instantly clicks the no shield. Zap cannon is going to do massive damage. We tank it, pivot out into Banette. Registeel, super bulky. We actually just get outpaced to the next zap cannon. Banette is going to be forced to commit a shield. Zap cannon manages to lower our attack. However, no attack drop is really going to be that fatal to the super attack weighted Banette. Banette fires off the Shadow Ball. Shadow Ball returns Registeel to its Pokeball. Back out comes Peliper. Banette looking to throw on CMP. Beautiful count in there from no bonfire ahead. Shadow Ball takes care of Peliper. What is that final Pokemon? And the opponent has a Marwile. We still haven't cleared our debuff. We're still one stage down on attack, but Banette doesn't give a flying fuck. Get wrecked. GG's, and thanks for playing. Shadow Banette pulling off an incredible sweep there, clutching up a perfect 5-0. No bonfire head said he did get this 5-0, and then he is going to submit 5 extra battles that are hand selected that he thought were entertaining. So getting on into the bonus battles, we'll lead Peliper into Zangoose, another glass cannon. Peliper fires off the weather ball puts Zangoose deep in the yellow. The opponent now pivots out into Alteria, and we don't really have the best Alteria response, so no bonfire head stays in, throws the hurricane. Does the opponent commit a shield on the hurricane? No, they don't. And again, no bonfire head throwing on the CMP tie. Sky attack takes us out. However, Alteria is now deep into the yellow. Banette would get absolutely torn apart by the Dragon Breath, so no bonfire head sends out his Sableye. He fires off the foul play just before the next Sky attack. Does the opponent want to commit a shield? Yes, they do. You can see no bonfire head's energy management absolutely on point. We actually mirror shields, commit to the farm down. However, the opponent sends out Zangoose. They fire off the Night Slash. Night Slash does decent neutral damage to Sableye. No bonfire head fires on CMP. However, this time he does lose to the Zangoose. We commit our final shield, looking to pressure the final shield off the opponent. Foul play does get the final shield. Aggressive switch into Banette, and holy smokes, we're getting torn apart by the Shadow Claws. The opponent sends back out Alteria. No bonfire head farms down Shadow Ball, locked and loaded the flying toilet. In the back, gets near one shot, and that is all she wrote. GG's, and thanks for playing. Moving on to the next battle, Peliper into Medicham. Very good lead. The opponent, for some reason, staying in. This is just an ice punch with non-stab. Doesn't do a whole great deal to the flying toilet, and the opponent now pivots out into Sableye. However, they've switched out super late. The opponent shields the weather ball, and no bonfire head enters the mirror. We're looking to no-shield the first charge move. Foul play gets us into the yellow. No bonfire head, looking to throw on CMP, and again his high attack Sableye wins the charge move priority event. Foul play doesn't quite KO the opponent left on 1 HP, and the dream no bonfire head just going to completely sack his own Sableye. We can come in with either Pokemon. No bonfire head chooses to come back in to Peliper, not wanting to take a Shadow Claw on his Banette. We do farm down. And it's an Alteria in the back. The opponent already down one shield. We full send the Hurricane. That does big damage to Alteria. Aggressive switch into Banette. And just look at the Dragon Breath. Holy crap. We are going to have to shield up absolutely everything. The opponent stays in, gets off as much Dragon Breath damage as possible. We're now deep in the red, but we have a whole heap of energy. Medicham is going to be forced to shield up the Shadow Ball. Can we survive the counters and make Shadow Ball number 2? Banette, with his very happy little face, says, don't worry, I'll survive. And we nuke Medicham back to its Pokeball. Very good game. Moving on to the next one. We lead Peliper into Registeel. Pretty dreadful. 2 better responses in the back, so we instantly pivot into Sableye, and the opponent answers with Alteria. Alteria, Sableye, pretty neutral. The opponent doesn't even build up to the Moonblast. They CMP to the foul play with their own Sky Attack. No bonfire head is actually going to shield up the Sky Attack. It looks like we're looking to win back switch, or at least get some shields down. No bonfire head, unable to farm down. He fires off the foul play at the low health Alteria. The opponent does commit a shield. Tough decision to make. Does no bonfire head commit his final shield? He does last second. We do Shadow Claw, farm down. We have residual energy. Good to go, and it's Swampert in the back. No bonfire head fires off on CMP again. This isn't IV dependent. CMP tie. So the high attack Sableye coming in clutch again. Holy smokes. Attack weighted Sableye looking like our boss in this meta. We've now flipped switch. We come in to Banette. The opponent switches out into Registeel. And just like that, we're going to completely sack the Peliper Zap Cannon. Absolutely one-shots us. Back to our Pokeball. Banette can now overfarm Registeel into the yellow. Is this Shadow Ball going to be enough to knock out? Yes, it is. Registeel goes down, back out. Comes Swampert. Swampert, super healthy, but Banette doesn't give a fuck. And we nuke that as well. Holy crap. Banette absolutely nuking everything in its path. Moving on to the next battle. Peliper into Medicham. Great lead. The opponent switches out into Registeel. No bonfire head. Farms up a boatload of energy. Pivots out into Sableye to catch the Zap Cannon. Sableye doesn't tank it all that well, and of course the opponent gets the attack drop. Sableye is going to be able to get off at least one foul play, however, with an attack drop. Registeel, very healthy still in the yellow. The opponent is going to fire off what I imagine just to be a focus blast, as absolutely anything is going to KO Sableye. From here, no bonfire head just completely sacks it. We come in to Banette. We are obviously going to have to shield this up, however Banette will be able to get the full farm down. The opponent realising they're going to get farmed down, aggressively switch out into Medicham. We have been one stage lowered on attack, however Shadow Ball still one-shots, and that final Pokemon is Gardevoir. Charm is neutral, Shadow Claw is super effective, however Banette isn't going to survive all that long. We do get one shield off the Gardevoir. Peliper now looking primed to sweep. We throw one wing attack and the Weather Ball, great fast move timing. No bonfire head again throws one wing attack and the next Weather Ball. Weather Ball takes care of Gardevoir. Registeel says fuck that, I'm out of here, and the opponent concedes the match. Moving on to the next battle, we see Peliper into Alteria. Not the best matchup, however Hurricane does do massive damage to Alteria. No bonfire head choosing to shield up the Sky Attack. We are now looking to overfarm No bonfire head, not baiting, going straight for the hurricane does Alteria. Respect it, they do not. Alteria now deep in the red. We're unable to farm down, so no bonfire head fires off the weather ball. Weather ball, even resisted, does knock out. We win lead, aggressive switch into Sableye, and of course the opponent has their own Sableye. If you've played Hoenn Cup, you'll know that about 99.99 reoccurring teams do actually have Sableye, as it doesn't really have any hard counters in the meta. Gardevoir, the main charmer, is a psychic type, so Shadow Claws are super effective, and even the foul play hits for neutral despite them being a fairy. No bonfire head gets both shields off the opponent. He is in a tricky spot as we are going to get outpaced to the foul play. Surely we're going to shield this move up. No bonfire head allows Peliper to go down. Can we Shadow Claw down this Sableye? Holy crap. We're going to be super low. We are going to get the farm down. Show me something we can nuke. In the back, an aggressive switch into Medicham, and just like that, no bonfire heads. Team read was immaculate Shadow Ball. Obviously one shot in Medicham. The opponent sends back out Sableye. We managed to make one more Shadow Ball, and that is going to be all she wrote. GG's, and thanks for playing. Another Shadow Banette sweep there to close out the video. A huge thank you to No Bonfire Head for the incredible battle submission. I have featured No Bonfire Head numerous times on the channel before, and it's an absolute pleasure to shoutcast his battles. His energy management, fast move counting and team comms are always incredible. Really high gameplay IQ, so I'm forever grateful for the fire submission. So if you like your battles featured on the channel like No Bonfire Head had, a link to my battle submission form is down below. If you're enjoying the content, smash that like button. If you're new, consider subscribing. I'd just like to say thanks for watching, and I will see you all in the next one.